Well, hello everyone. You have right here, like this right here is a print off right here of a photograph that I went and took from my phone right here, and I went and printed this off directly from my phone here. And I don't know if everybody here knows how to do that, to where if you're going to be collecting any photos from your phone, such as if it's a smartphone or any kind of phone that you have, to where you can go ahead and take pictures and have it printed directly from your phone, just by following the menu options there. And usually it's by following, it's like for more options, and it'll give you the print option right there. But I took this picture right here, whenever I was getting off work, and of the Aldi's stores. So you have right here is like this picture right here of for Aldi's, and on Green Meadows Road. And you can see right here that most of us have read about the news about that truck fire that happened over there. And a couple of times I'm like, around, I think April the 22nd, it would have been on Earth Day, around the time of the fire, that afternoon actually. And whenever I was reading about the news, but still, that you see right here is that that from where the truck was parked and from the fire blaze, and I took this picture about I think about maybe 2 days or something, like about a day or two, something like that, after the fire. But getting off work, and I went and took this picture right here, and just kind of reading about I was reading about what had happened over there that afternoon on that Sunday. But I can remember that from earlier in the day, like it would have been about I'm trying to Monday or Tuesday. I think it was a Monday morning, that a week before that, around the 15th or so, that I can remember that there was two trucks, because the store you would usually open about 5:30, 6 o'clock, and 6 a.m. something like that. So I'm like. You would see a lot of cars, parked, and then, they would get ready to open up the store during that time too. And I can remember, once or twice that there would be like two trucks, pulling up and backing up into that store right there. And they were reporting as to where that one of those trucks had caught on fire. And from all the cold weather that we've been getting too, but still that they're still investigating about whatever happened to what caused the fire. But you see right here is that this photo right here is what I went and took right here of the store right there, to where that you have right here these parked cars, and then they had the bins where they had where the store had a lot of the grocery items, and then the health department was inspecting all the grocery items for what they found that possibly could have been contaminated. But you got right there's a store right here, and I went ahead and did some Photoshop work right here of the store right here. I have right here's the truck, like the before and after scenes right here. But we could see right here, I put this together right here just so we can see about the truck right here, because I know once or twice that if I were to be driving to work between 4 and 5 a.m. and then I would see trucks pulling in and out this parking lot here, and I can remember seeing about 2 or 3 trucks, and with one of those trucks will be backing up close to the building right here, and like I say, one of those trucks, according for what was advertised from the news, that you caused to where that from where it was parked, but they're probably still trying to investigate for what caused the fire. And so I guess there maybe the air conditioning. I'm like, there's something that went wrong. What went wrong? So for for if it was inside the truck, or maybe something to do with with the engine or some sort like that, or something that caused the explosion of the matter, something that caused the fire. But you have right here is that with this example of this truck right here, that we can see right here's the blaze right there, and it was about a week before that I can remember that there was 2 trucks pulling into that store, and I kept thinking as to where that that yeah, that if this was what you caused to where a situation to where that maybe at the truck, I'm like, yeah, in case of anybody that wonders as to where that if the truck could not have been parked too close to maybe the gas line or something like that, or it could have been maybe a default something with the truck, or maybe something at the store that would have caused the fire. But still though that once I usually seen about maybe 2 or 3 trucks that were pulling in, and if I can remember right, that once or twice that I would see a few delivery guys that would be opening up the truck doors and getting things unloaded, and whenever the trucks were coming in and out, and I kept thinking too that usually that you would see that source of stuff. I'm like, yeah, that's not like that post office, because usually like the post office that you might see trucks pulling in and out of there and unloading the trucks, the freight off the truck, or it could also be carts full of mail, papers, or anything like that, or packages, for like if it's the UPS or if it's the FedEx drivers or something like that. Somebody like that, I'm like, yeah, the FedEx trucks, but still though that it's like anybody say that yeah, if that fire would have started right around 5 o'clock in the afternoon, then it's like, yeah, it sounds a little bit like maybe that something that went wrong with maybe the fuel. I'm like, yeah, it was something. Maybe if it could have been inside the truck as well, inside the truck, that's something that would have caused the fire to, something went wrong inside the truck too. But I can tell you by here that yeah, that this store right here, that it would have opened as of October of 2017, since last year. So they've only been open for about maybe 5 months, maybe 6 months at the most, and it's kind of sad to hear too, is that with something like that went on, and I guess they're still investigating the matter, but still that new store, and you wouldn't think that something like that would happen, because I know that there's Aldi's, and there's also a Hy-Vee grocery store, and there's also a Walmart store. So it's like, yeah, that a new store to where that you're gonna have it to where a delivery truck that caught fire, or it could also maybe be about anything else, anything else the matter that would have went on as well. But based on from what I read about on the news though, is that for what caused for what I seen about the firefighters that came out to put out the blaze. But whenever I first seen this, I'm like, yeah, this is about what I seen right here whenever I was driving to work that morning, that I seen the news team out there, and it looked like to me a little bit like the fire started from the inside of the store, like something whenever the truck was delivered at that, because right there, yeah, we can see some flames from we can see some, if you want to call it some fire stain, like, yeah, I guess on the bricks of the building right there. So it looked like that maybe that the fire came from inside the building, but no, it's, I guess, the truck would have been parked, I guess, what direction would that have been? That would have been about, I guess, maybe on the west side or so. I mean, maybe the east side. I guess west side would maybe be about right over here. But anyway, the truck was parked at about right there. And so, yeah, that whenever looking at this, and I know in case if anybody wonders as to where everything seems so totally different compared to actually being there, but whenever I took this picture, it was like, yeah, that, it's, you take a picture and just thinking about it till you look over there and just kind of see about what's going on. And so, yeah, it looks a little bit like, in case of anybody that wonders as to where that, from the cold weather that we've been getting, you wouldn't think that something like that would happen. I'm like, between 30 and 40 degree temperatures, that you would think that maybe that not something would not get so hot to where it's going to explode, or that there will be like what you call a default of the matter, and any source of fire, because here in Missouri, that we have not been getting real hot, weather here these past couple of days, around April, that there's been some days on a Sunday, this last, on Sunday, this last Earth Day, holiday, that we've, once a time, we've been getting snow, snow flurries. So you're likely one or two, is to word that, possibly that maybe if it's not really the heat of the matter that would have caused the fire, or maybe something going on with the truck, or, maybe for, what went on, there at the store. But, I can remember that whenever I, was driving to work that morning, I can remember that the lights were on over there. And whenever the lights were on over there, then I kept thinking as to where that something that didn't really look right, because the lights are usually off over there at Aldi's. And also that, the way that the building looked like, that, it looked like exactly that in case if anybody wonders as to where that what buildings usually look like after a tornado hit it, or maybe after it was struck by lightning, or possibly that it could have been another, it could have been another situation also. But this right here, this photograph right here, of course, it don't even look like a tornado went through there. It looks more like a fire, but still that likely were to where that the fire, did the fire start from the inside of the store or from the outside? But according to what you read about, it happened from the outside. But the truck would have been parked at about right there. And so this store right here is not even a year old. And so whenever that store, and I can remember whenever this store was built right here, that I can remember whenever it was being built, that, there was not hardly any lights over there, but just, like I say, is to where that, exactly, that, and you one or two, that is to where that, with the new store, that those are certain things that commonly you just don't hear that happen. But still, though, that, whenever we're going to be talking about your fires of the matter or anything else like that, then you're also one or two is that, fire of the matter, the truck that caught fire. And so I just thinking, luckily, you say that, nobody, predators to where nobody was hurt during the time. But I tell you one thing, though, that I'm sure that they're probably anybody say that, well, with the store being closed, and that also means is that for people who are going to maybe be without work for the next couple of days. And I know that don't sound like if anybody say that what really, I'm like, it sounds like good news or not. I'm like, good news or bad news. I'm like, well, we found the problem, but the bad news is it may be a while until we're able to get everything restocked and all, but still, that, over, all these grocery stores that would be located on Green Meadows, like I say, Green Meadows, here in Columbia. But I'll tell you one thing, everybody, that, that whenever I first seen the news team over there, that I was also wondering about what was going on. At first I thought, that in case if anybody wonders, is that, at first I thought they were talking about maybe special sales that were going on, around a week or something like that. I thought maybe that's one of the reasons why that news crew was over there, because that, that they were announcing about maybe a special buy, maybe in one of the grocery departments or something. But no, read on there, read on the news that there was a fire over there. And, you're likely thinking too, number one, I was thinking too, that, with the new store, that store opened like not too long ago, you wouldn't think that there would be anything wrong with it. So whenever a new store opens, you wouldn't think that there would be anything wrong with the electrical appliances or with the plumbing or maybe with the way that the parking lot was aligned with Japper and maybe not enough room for truckers or something like that. So so you're likely wondering to where that really may not have anything to do with it, really. Like the truckers, they had plenty of room to be able to pull back around the back, just to be able to drop off their deliveries and, for anything else that they had to do as well. But it was about a week before Now, I heard about the fire that I seen a few delivery trucks driving all the way, driving over there, and yeah, that was between 5-6 o'clock in the morning. So in case of anybody that may want to worry that, yeah, that with these delivery trucks that you might see delivery trucks. I'm like, yeah, if it's half the time, even if it's an office appliance store, or maybe if it's another source of grocery store, you might not think it's unusual to see a delivery truck driving around on the east or west side of the building and delivering packages, or maybe if they're just dropping off a delivery, maybe for the holidays or something like that. But still, though, that you wore too is that one of the things is to wear that exactly that a delivery truck that catches on fire. You're likely thinking is to where that okay, the delivery truck that caught on fire. Or it could have been that maybe that, exactly, that there was a gas station. Yeah, I know it. I guess that would be a different story, wouldn't it, everybody? If there was a gas station right next to this Aldi store, maybe if they would have built it maybe towards the back area, maybe if there was a small gas station right back in there, then it's possible that could have caused maybe the fire. But, still, this grocery store does not even have a gas station. If anything, it's located within about maybe 3 blocks, south or east. But still, there's no gas station. I can tell everybody here that over there on Green Meadows Road, that there is no gas station within about 8 blocks. I'm like, yeah, within at least about a mile from that location. And so I just think of the nearest gas station would like be Hy-Vee gas station, but they're between Walmart and where Aldi's is, and it's like between Aldi on Green Meadows that there's like no gas stations around there. So in case if anybody warns is that usually you would see a fire on something like that. Maybe if it was something that went wrong with the engine or something in the truck, or possibly that maybe if there was a gas station nearby. So you're likely thinking is that that's just kind of devastating, really, just to see something like that, especially that you go there, you go to the store maybe around 1 o'clock that afternoon and doing your shopping. And then all of a sudden, you hear a loud explosion, and you're likely wondering to where, what was that? And I know sometimes that people say that if they hear a loud explosion, they may automatically think that maybe it's thunder and lightning. But really that you might hear maybe a loud roaring or maybe a loud noise maybe every once in a while, and you might think as to where, okay, maybe you were just hearing things, but depending on how loud it is. So I guess in case of anybody's that wonders as to where you kind of mislead that to where thinking as to where if it's a real big deal, but then maybe the cause and effect could also be as to where that that loud noise that did not sound usual compared to what you normally hear. If it was thundering and lightning, then maybe you would hear, you would maybe smell something odd, smell something unusual, or you may see something unusual. So in case of anybody that may want to word it, if you hear a loud bang or a loud noise, then maybe if it's not usual, then possibly you might notice something wrong. But still, though, that in case of anybody that wonders is that, you go to the grocery store maybe to pick up a gallon of milk, and then you find out, you hear, a loud noise in the back area, and you're also thinking, too, as to where that maybe if they're just testing the equipment or whatever, you hear a loud explosion, and then you want to know about what's going on. But, I'm like... in case of anybody that may want to, you could maybe be in the bathroom and hear a loud explosion, or maybe you could be working at the checkout area, or maybe stocking stuff Because I've only been in that store once. Yeah, I know it. I can tell anybody here. I've only been in this Aldi store once. And I remember I was looking at what they had there. And yeah, so it's like you go into that store. I went into that store once. And I can tell anybody here too that, you know, going into the Aldi's grocery store, I have my own opinion about it, like maybe with everybody else, is that, you know, you may not think it's fair that you had to put a quarter into a shopping cart just to go into the store and get what you need. You may not always agree to where you had to pay about 90 cents or so, or maybe 85 cents for a shopping bag, you know, especially if you got your hands full of stuff, and then they say that the shopping bags are about, you know, 83 cents a piece. So I can remember the first time I went shopping in there, that was really kind of like what you call one of my disappointments, was because that, you know, exactly, that you had to pay for the shopping bags. But still, though, that I know that something like that, to where in case of anybody that may want to, that, you know, having a grocery store, you know, after you get off work, and then, you know, you go into that grocery store, you know, maybe just to pick up maybe some juice, or maybe you know, loaf of bread, if you want to pick up a loaf of bread, and then find out that you know, exactly, you were going to go there maybe that afternoon after you got off work. You were going to go to Aldi's around 1 o'clock in the afternoon on the lunch hour, and find out that there was a fire that happened outside. So you're likely thinking is that, yeah, that if there's no gas stations nearby, or whichever it was, then you're also kind of thinking, yeah, well, what's up with that? But still, though, that whenever you know, this is a drawing, but this right here is a photo right here that I took. I'm sure most of us, you know, can already tell that, but still, that whenever I was looking at this right here, I'm like, yeah, that photo, that it looked like to me that maybe that the fire that happened from the inside there, but no, it was from the outside. So I guess whenever that truck caught on fire, it did some damage to the building. So I know, I can tell everybody here that, yeah, that you know, that's something that you just don't see every day, especially that, you know, I cannot recall. Maybe one time it happened over at Gerb's, but like, you know, compared to Walmart, you know, you got these new stores that open up, and you're likely thinking is to where that, you know, you would not even think that maybe a robbery would happen. You would not think that maybe that the store got hit by lightning or whichever, but still that you go to a store and find out that you know, truck caught fire and they're closed. You know, that they're remaining closed, you know, for remodeling, or, you know, yeah, that they had to close the store down. But still, though, that I know, in case of anybody that may, you know, if anybody has ever shopped at Kmart before, that if you were going to Kmart, maybe to go, you know, look at something, or maybe to shop for something, you go to Kmart, and then find out that, you know, over the weekend that there was a fire that went on, or something else that went on, and you know, they had to close the store down for a couple of days. But anyway, but I took this picture right here in case of anybody that asks, is that yeah, that you know, I did not have my actual camera with me whenever I took this picture, so it's like, yeah, that took the picture from my phone right here. But still, they're still investigating about what caused the fire. But it's like for anything that they're able to find out as well. But still, though, that you know, I can remember that morning, it was about 1 week before the fire, that I can remember that there was about, you know, 3 trucks that were departing in and out of that grocery store. And I was also thinking too that you know, exactly, that you know, I'm like, yeah, you see delivery trucks almost all the time. You know, did I see anything unusual? I'm like, not really, but other than that, you know, exactly, that so those delivery people may think this, to where that maybe if they left it, whatever that they were delivering, left it out in the cold for very long. But still, that we're not, you know, we're not talking about maybe if one of the gas lines, like, yeah, possibly at the gas line from the truck, that something went wrong with the gas line, or maybe the coolant level or something like that inside the truck. But for what was inside the truck, yeah. for what was inside the truck, it could have been something like something, something that was supposed to keep the food cool or fresh or something like that. That something went wrong with the refrigerant or something like that caused the fire. But really, though, that they're still investigating that matter. But still, though, that it's like, new store, and you wouldn't think that something like that would happen. But anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. And talking about it's like there's the truck, and I know that whenever that store does reopen, then possibly that open up a new Aldi store, and thinking necessarily to where if they're going to maybe arrange things differently to where that rebuild the store, fix that. I guess to say that causes the damages, but still that half the time you do one or two that if they're going to maybe have it to where that delivery trucks, but still that for how everything was aligned right here, that you're also one or two that they're going to maybe work things a little bit differently or about the same, but just keep an eye on the situation. But other than that, the store would have opened, as of October of last year. So this store has only been opened for about, 6 months already, close to 6 months. And you wouldn't think that, exactly. But anyway, talk about for Aldi's grocery store right there, on Green Meadows Road, like Columbia, Missouri. Thanks for watching, everyone, and have a great day.